Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Alpha TV. In this edition, you'll have the opportunity to view Kathy Aycock's interview with Ron Fuller on the Alpha Way. We will also hear from Michael Schneider, Ron's replacement, on his vision for the Safety and QC department going forward. Next, we will get some tips and tricks out of the HR department with Jennifer Mata, as well as show you some of the current company analytics coming out of accounting regarding mid-year results. Finally, we will be showcasing your locations and team members in our project spotlights. This edition, it will be Amy Bricker out of our San Antonio office and the award-winning Jenny Project. And who knows, you may see some surprise content along the way. So take a spin through Alpha TV, and as always, give us your feedback at ldaniels@alphabuilding.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erica, your hostess for Alpha TV, the in-house news network for the Alpha Building Corporation. Well, to kick things off today, Ron Fuller, who just retired after 35 years with Alpha, sat down with Kathy to share his thoughts on his role and career with Alpha.
I am delighted to have this opportunity to interview Ron Fuller. There's nobody in Alpha that is better qualified to talk about our quality control and safety programs. Ron, what are the things that you're particularly proud of during your years with Alpha?
Well, I'd have to say there were many, but probably the most important thing that I'm proud of is having a direct role in helping create a safety culture that actually prevents injuries and save lives. The creation of the safety hazard analysis checklist that includes the high fives, which is the most dangerous task that we consider in the construction industry, which includes excavation, fall protection, hazardous materials, scaffolding, confined space. We require site-specific safety plans for each and every one of those. Alpha Building Corporation is a company that walks the walk when it comes to safety. If you don't believe us, just ask our subcontractors and our employees.
What has been the best part of your job?
Well, it's been having a direct role in creating a quality control program and a safety program with corporate's unwavering support. I've never had to ask for resources. I've never had to answer to why I needed something. I've also really enjoyed the fact that our experience in the quality control program and in the safety program come to fruition in the field on the job sites.
What do you recommend to Alpha going forward?
Believe in the quality control and safety process. Insist on the adherence to our approved processes for performing construction. Accept nothing less than 100% compliance in project specifications and OSHA standards. Stay the course and everyone will return home at night safe and be proud of what they've built.
So now what? Let's hear from your new Quality Safety Assurance Officer and friend, Michael Schneider.
Hello, I'm Michael Schneider. I know y'all are probably looking at me and saying, that's the guy who shows up on my job sites all the time. Now I have to see him on TV. What gives? Before I get started here today, I wanted to give Ron Fuller a shout out for his recent retirement from Alpha Building Corporation. It had been an honor and a privilege to work with him over the years, and the QC Safety Department will miss him. Today, I greet you as a Quality Control Safety Assurance Officer with Alpha Building. I will be your second set of eyes and resources for any kind of safety and quality control issues that you may have on your projects. I've been in construction for many years. I am an authorized OSHA trainer and a certified safety and health officer. I don't anticipate the quality control safety department to operate any different than it has in the previous years, other than I will be the only one that you'll get contacted by. As a reminder, shacks are due on every project that we do. If it has a high five on the project, then those will have to be sent in for review by the QC safety department. Summer work is almost behind us, so some of you may be getting a little bit of downtime. With this downtime, I would like to suggest that you look through PlanGrid and see all that it has to offer. As I venture out on my travels in the next few weeks, I am going to be expected to see that the superintendents with their iPads on their projects and that their iPads have been loaded with all the pertinent project information. You know, the stuff like the drawings, the scopes, the specs, turnovers, shacks, pre-cons, all the documentation that's required for every project. If you have any questions concerning the QC Safety Department requirements, please give me a call at 210-669-0694 or email me at alpha-safety@alphabuilding.com. Thank you and have a safe and productive day. Time to go on to the next project.
Okay, so you see how seriously we take your safety. But if something should happen to you on the job or off, is your HR paperwork up to date? Well, here's Jennifer Mata with a quick HR tip.
Suppose you get run over by a truck this afternoon, and on your way to your hereafter, you hear your family wailing and crying, but not for what you think. They just found out that you did not provide their names to the insurance company as the beneficiary of the account. And now all that money will be managed and handed out by a judge in your state. Relatives you like and don't like, and some you don't even know, will all get a piece of the insurance pie. You just made your ex-spouse very happy. You could have avoided all that grief over the money, that is, by providing the proper designation of your account beneficiaries. That simple action ensures that what remains in your accounts after you pass on goes exactly where you want it. You can designate the first recipient first in line or primary. In the event the primary beneficiaries are deceased, the contingent beneficiary will receive the benefit. In closing, you should review your beneficiaries on a periodic basis and make adjustments as needed. Life events such as marriage, divorce, childbirth, or the death of a selected beneficiary all cause a change. If you just can't figure it out, remember, my name is Jennifer Mata. That's Mata with 2 A's.
Here's a report on one of the latest and definitely one of Alpha's more unusual projects recently completed by the San Antonio project team.
If you're flying out of Terminal B at the San Antonio International Airport, you will notice a large antique plane hanging above the ticket kiosk. This plane is actually a 1918 Curtiss Jenny biplane that was installed in October of 2017 by Alpha Building Corporation in partnership with the Whitty Museum and the San Antonio International Airport.
Austin Arts, the firm contracted by the Whitty to assemble the plane, had a very limited window in their schedule, and the entire project had to be built backwards based on their available install date. Each aspect and work task had to be meticulously planned due to the constraints provided by the area where the work was being performed and the set schedule. Alpha subcontractors had to remove and number the existing ceiling panels from a curved ceiling approximately 40 foot above the ticketing floor. The next step included a week's worth of prepping the existing above-ceiling structural members and welding 2 additional 20-foot sections of C-channel and 3 hanging supports for the plane's connection points. The night of arrival, the plane was delivered in pieces to a temporary staging area built by Alpha inside the terminal. Because the plane has a 45-foot wingspan, the assembly and the staging area had to be strategically placed inside the existing columns running the length of the terminal every 30 feet. The following night, as Austin Arts assembled the plane, Alpha's subcontractors installed the support rigging in between the plane's connection points. On the final night, the staging walls were pushed back to create pedestrian barricades, and the plane was manually turned 180 degrees into a lift position. 2 pieces of equipment were used to lift the plane up and over the ticketing kiosk, while a 3rd piece of equipment was used to make the final connections at the ceiling. Due to the amount of time and workspace required to get the plane lifted and in place, Alpha had to make quick accommodations for returning the terminal to its original state. Thankfully, all parties on site pitched in to help with the final cleanup and make sure the terminal was ready for arriving passengers.
This project has been a great example of Alpha's capabilities. It exemplifies how a good employee-employer relationship can make even a difficult and challenging project still produce a successful outcome. Alpha has built a strong rapport at the San Antonio International Airport, and this has allowed us to have their trust to participate in some of their most high-profile projects. As of August 2018, the Curtiss Jenny plane was awarded the Excellent in Construction Award by the South Texas ABC chapter in the other less than $2 million category, and will be submitted for an ABC National Pyramid Award in the fall.
Well, now here's the report on how the company is doing toward meeting its goals.
Hello. For those of you who may not know me, I am Rob Crow, Vice President of Business Operations here at Alpha Building Corporation. Part of my role is to keep up with the numbers that track our progress towards success. Today I wanted to take a few moments to go over some of the mid-year metrics as we work towards our annual goal. As you are probably aware, September 30th represents the end of the first half of our fiscal year. So ideally, each location will have passed the halfway mark. Realistically though, each of our offices has realized a different level of success. This first slide illustrates our top 4 and bottom 4 locations compared to their gross profit goal for the year. As you can see, Tarleton, Tulsa, West Texas, and East Texas are well on their way towards achieving their goals. You can also see that we have several locations that have struggled so far this year. Through September 30th, as a company, we are about 1/3 of the way there. But remember, this is just a snapshot in time, and given the backlog that many of your locations have, we are optimistic about the year as a whole. Your project manager can calculate your location's progress each month using the current P&L statement and comparing it to the goals we set for you at the beginning of the year. This next slide shows our average project margin compared to our target margin of 75%. Because margin can be somewhat fluid while a job is open, this information is based on the 214 projects that closed in the first half of the year. As you can see, some of the locations are doing a great job maintaining margin on the projects. You might also notice that a couple of lower averages, Tarleton and Tulsa, were also at the top of progress towards their gross profit goals. As a whole, the company is within 1% of our margin target. But that difference represents almost $150,000 of missed profit. Finally, we wanted to touch on our commitment to you. Corporate is not a profit center, so the best we can do is minimize the cost of our operations. Year to date, we are almost 3% ahead of our budget. Or said another way, we have only spent 48.5% of our budget halfway through the year. Remember, this information only represents a snapshot in time, taken at the midpoint of our fiscal year. A lot of work will be completed through the end of the year. Keep making progress, and we are confident that together we will have a solid year overall. If you have any question, please feel free to reach out to me and I will do my best to find the answers for you.
Well, that's it for Alpha News this month. I enjoyed hearing all of these news stories, and I really hope you did too. If you have suggestions or comments, please call Lauren or David Page.